name is Dr. Damages. I'm coming to you from the greatest city in the world, New York City!
Get out of here, man. Get out of here. I'm Dr. Damages. I'm coming to you from the greatest city in the world.
New York City!
Yes. So, New York City is so great that on Tuesday, someone tried us here in New York City.
Ha!
A man drove a truck
Hey!
and ran over pedestrians
Wow!
and killed 8 people.
Wow!
So sad. It's a very sad story.
Hey!
I have one thing to say to all you people who hate us. I'm talking of those of you who are here and those of you abroad. I know that you don't know this, but we are the only thing standing between you and total destruction.
Yes.
True. I'm telling you, this is serious. Next time you want to mess with New York, think about it. If we let the fence drop, if we let Mississippi win,
Hey!
the flood will run all of you over.
Yes, so...
It's deep.
Yeah.
Now,
Deep.
talking about flooding, President Donald Trump is no longer sleeping well at night.
Wow!
The man is also, this Russian thing is getting closer and closer.
Wow! He's knocking at the door.
His former campaign manager, Paul Medaford, has been indicted.
Wow!
And a campaign advisor has pleaded guilty to lying to the FBI about his contact with the Russians.
Why is he lying now?
It's beginning to sound like Christmas. You said it's sounding like Christmas. It's beginning to sound like Christmas. Some people may spend Christmas in prison. Just remember that I said it here first. Some people might spend Christmas in prison.
Hey!
Oh, yeah. Talking about prison. Cameroon's opposition leader, Abubakar Siddiqui, has been jailed for 25 years.
Wow!
Oh, yeah, 25 years. The man, President Biya's military court found him guilty of hostility against the homeland.
Oh, my God!
Trying to instigate a revolution and contempt of the president.
Wow!
Now, Siddiqui was arrested in 2014.
Wow!
Now, Paul Biya, meanwhile, as you guys know, has been in power for over 35 years.
Hey!
Now, Paul Biya has also killed so many of his countrymen and women. We all know that.
Yes?
Now, I know it is hard to believe this now, but I can assure Cameroonians that this will come to an end soon. It will come to an end.
Yes.
One day, Paul Biya will go out of his hotel room naked. No. Just to drop off a plate of his room service food. And this will happen. Watch.
Checks to make sure the coast is clear, then dashes out to leave his room service tray out in the hall. Yeah. But, of course, the door is locked. I know, the poor guy. Yes, he has to use the tray for a bit of cover. And then he heads to the reception desk. Yeah.
Wow!
I know. I'm telling you, it will happen. Cameroonians must keep fighting anyway. They must keep fighting. History will remember Paul Biya as a man who was hostile to his homeland.
Wow!
A man who instigated a revolution. And a man who was in contempt of his own people. And then he will be dumped where people like him are dumped. Inside the trash can of history.
Pro-Russian, but in particular the emotions are running high because Parliament was set to vote on a vetting law, an anti-corruption, it's called lustration law, which people hope will be able to cleanse the government of corrupt politicians.
Wow!
I know, like that man. Yeah, that's what will happen to him. That's how he's going to end. Now, you see, a man in Uganda came up with a solution that we should all adopt in Africa. It's a simple solution for all our problems.
Okay.
No, this man, look at what happened. This man, someone stole his car. And he went to a juju priest. And Babalawo, you know Babalawo. Yes. He went to one and the man sent bees to infest this thief's hand. Day and night, the bees are there.
Wow.
And guess what the man has been doing, the thief now? He's been begging and pleading for forgiveness.
Oh my God.
What? I know. Can you imagine that? You just imagine how these bees, if they will go on to the hands of Paul Biya, day and night. Imagine what he will be saying. Imagine this bees on every politician's hand, African politician who stole from the people, or those who killed their own people. Imagine. This is like a nuclear weapon. I mean, this is more than any kind of solution to all our problems.
Yes.
Can we patent this medicine? Because this is to cure everything that we have in Africa. You kill somebody, this will happen to you.
Yes.
You steal the money of the people, this will happen to you. Can we do that?
Yeah.
I'm just saying, we don't understand how this is more than nuclear weapon, you know? That's what I'm saying. Anyway, talking about history, Kenyans re-elected Uhuru Kenyatta for a second time in office.
Wow.
Oh yeah. He won a whopping 98% of the votes. 98% of people voted for him. Now there is an asterisk on this one. You know, only 39% of registered voters went to vote, down from 80% that voted in August of the same year.
Wow.
Now, still, Uhuru got 7.5 million votes. In August, he got 8.2 million votes. So you can see, there was no change on the number of votes he got. It was almost the same thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, but there was a boycott. The opposition leader, Raila Odinga, pulled out of the election in October. Yeah, he said, I'm not going to participate. Uhuru now will be president, but he won't have the mandate of all the Kenyan people. So we still hope that things will turn out well for Kenyans. You know, the mandate is important. Yeah, you know, it's important. Now, still on Monday, some leaders who are losing theirs. The big story in Nigeria this week is that President Muhammadu Buhari sacked his suspended former secretary to the federal government. You know the man I'm talking about? Mr. Babachir Lawal.
Wow.
That was 8 months. No, not 8 months. That was 6 months after the man was suspended. Oh, yeah. That was the man who awarded himself 250 million naira grass cutting contract. It's not just that he awarded the contract to himself. That would have been a small issue. But it was for cutting grasses at the camps of internally displaced people. Can you imagine that? These are people that the government cannot feed, give 2 decent meals a day. That they spend 250 million naira to cut grasses around their camps. What? If the meal is decent, why is Abubakar Atiku, why is his face looking like that when he's eating the food? The meal is not decent meal. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, so after months and months of us complaining, Buhari finally mustered the courage to fire the man. He also fired Ayo Oke, you know the guy. That was the one, the head of the Nigerian intelligence agency. What kind of intelligence? The man that was moving $43 million from one house to another in Lagos. In Ghana must go back. And they called them intelligence agency. Intelligence. You know, that was the man. Buhari fired him too. Now, I understand that the government of Buhari, they were surprised that Nigerians did not hit the streets and started dancing because he fired these 2 men. They were surprised. And I wonder why. Why didn't Nigerians do that? You see, since we had to cry and cry before Buhari did the right thing.
Yes.
We had no energy left to clap for Buhari. There was no energy. Oh, yeah. Oh, one more thing. When are those 2 men going to turn themselves over to EFCC and the police?
I don't know.
When are they going to do that? You know, if it took Buhari 6 months to muster the courage to fire them, I guess it will take EFCC another 6 years before they go to the homes of the people and write keep off EFCC property. Nonsense. Meanwhile, the case of Abdul Rashid Maina, the former prison pension man, it's not over yet. It's not over. This week, the head of service, Mrs. Winifred Ayo Oke, said that she walked up to Buhari after an executive council meeting and told him verbally and told him and warned him about reinstating this minor man.
Wow.
This woman went to Buhari and did that. You see, the problem is that maybe she was speaking to Buhari's wrong ear. If you want to talk to Buhari, make sure it's not the one that had ear infection. Talk to the right one. You know, it's very important. It's very important. Remember that. Remember that. It's still there. Now, as a smart woman, she also followed it up with a memo, which she addressed to the chief of staff. You know that Babachir, she wrote the memo and sent it. Still, when that thing hit the fan, they wanted to throw her under the bus. Everybody was trying to blame her.
Yes.
Wow.
And she said it's not my fault. And she proved it on Wednesday at the Federal Executive Council meeting when she gave it to Babachir.
Hey.
You know what she was saying there? She was saying, me, you think I'm a fool? You think I'm stupid? You think I'm...
told you.
You think... Don't mess with that black woman.
Yeah.
You know. Meanwhile, Buhari's people are coming up with new excuses why the government is going from one trouble to another. Did you hear what Babachir, your friend, said?
What did he say?
Did you hear? He said that Buhari's government has been infiltrated by Jonathan's loyalists. He said that's the problem. They're responsible for all the problems that Buhari is having.
Can you repeat that?
that Buhari's, he said that Buhari's government has been infiltrated by Jonathan's loyalists.
Hey!
That is why that they are responsible for all the problems that Buhari is having.
Wow!
I know.
What an excuse.
That's a wonderful one. That's a new excuse. So does that mean that Jonathan had Boko Haram in his government? Now Buhari has Jonathan's people in his government. How did they get in there? How did they get in there?
I don't know.
Terrible. Now imagine this. The bees on Mina's hand and the hands of everyone who has stolen Nigerian money in the last 57 years. Just imagine that would transform Africa. Can you make this go viral? Can we get? We need to get the secret of that that juju. You know what I mean? If we can replicate it and make it happen again and again, African politicians, government of workers will behave well. Africa, they miss opportunities. And I think it's the church that caused these things.
Yes.
And the mosque and all this religion. Because if we were when Africa was Africa, Africa, my Africa, Africa of proud warriors.
Yes.
In ancestral savannah, Africa of whom my grandfather sings. Africa, tell me, Africa, is this you? This is a segment we call Secrets of
Picture!
It's based on the premise that a picture is worth more than 1,000
Words!
Now, the picture you're looking at is a picture of a woman on a bike following the motorcade of President Donald Trump in Washington, D.C. Look at the woman. The woman is giving the president the middle finger. You see, and African leaders are telling me they are the most criticized in the world. Can you imagine doing something like this to Buhari?
Yes.
Or even the governor of your state?
Yes.
Giving him the middle finger while he was passing. Can you imagine that?
Imagine.
Nonsense. Here are some stories making headline news across Nigerian newspapers this week. ₦400 million fraud. Olisametu, you know the guy, must deposit 1 billion naira for me to testify, says Jonathan. President Jonathan is saying that Olisametu wants him to come and testify. He must deposit 1 billion naira.
Wow, for what?
And I'm saying, that's small amount of money now. What are you talking about? You remember that Metu was the man who stopped Jonathan from being the Nobel Prize winner for peace.
Yes.
It was because Metu exposed that money. So Jonathan has the right to demand 1 billion is small. What about 10? I mean, don't you think about that? Because President Jonathan, if you think about it, is richer than the husband.
Yes.
So you should.
You say the former president is broke.
This is your chance to make money. Demand for something reasonable. I mean, don't you want money that you get, then patients will respect you. You know what I mean? 1 billion naira
Nonsense.
to transport himself from Yenagoa to Abuja. Is that how much? Is that how much? I mean, you can get pick-up truck that can take him for 500 naira. Nonsense. Buhari's request for $3 billion is meant to refinance Jonathan's loan, says the finance minister. What's her name? Kemi Adeosun. Did you hear the woman? Yeah. That the money was meant to refinance Jonathan's own loan.
Hey!
No, my question is this. So who will repay the loans that you are getting now? No, you have to ask that question. Oh, I know the answer. It's President Ayo Oke. Ayo Fayose, yeah, they are borrowing this so that Ayo Fayose will take care of these things. You know what I mean? No, it makes sense. It makes sense. Buhari's government is 50% PDP controlled.
Hey!
Says Colonel Hamed Ali. You know the guy at the what's he in charge of? Customs. Yes. So this is my question. So the remaining 50%, what are they doing? They are trying to learn from PDP, the act of stealing and to outdo them. Is that not what they are doing?
Yes.
I mean that's what it means now, because everybody's blaming the PDP people in Buhari's government. Those that are not PDP, how are they doing? They're basically learning from the masters.
Yes.
Trying to outdo the masters, the
Yes,
PDP
I know.
people. No, be so.
Yes, man.
Excuses everywhere. Excuses. Nonsense. Oh, this one is for you. I get you one every week. And this is from my, you know what I mean? This is from my person. You know what I mean? Now, after a successful butt enlargement surgery, Kosi Ojiako, my Kosi, decided to empower 2 fans with 2 shops. She was so happy she decided to give her fans 2 shops. Imagine what she will do when she finishes with brain enlargement surgery. You know what I mean? She'll be so happy that she might even call me. She did butt enlargement. You know what I mean? If you are Kosi, you want to be perfect. You already, the front is done, is good. The back, you have to, because you don't. I may consider going for that surgery. You know what I mean? I need many parts of my body fixed. You know what I mean? But enlargement. When she does the brain enlargement, she will be generous. She'll contribute money. Go fund me so that she will do the. It's time for your
email.
Wow, Tomato Just, nice to see you again.
Thanks for welcoming me back every time.
So what happened last week?
Like
it just disappeared. But we can talk about it later. You just disappeared.
I was kicked to the side because keeping it here, I wanted to read.
I just saw.
This is unfair.
Anyway, we'll talk about it.
I'm kidding.
We're going to get to that point,
No
and
problem.
No need talking about
no problem. We can get to the bottom of it.
You just show up anyway you like.
Okay. Thank God.
Do we have emails today?
Every day, doctor.
Okay, let's hear them.
Our first email is from Benedict from Anambra State.
Oh,
that's
Benedict, my friend. We used to swim in the river, the same river.
Sure.
The same river.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
He writes.
Yes.
Good evening, doctor.
I see. I told you.
Why is it that whenever the issue of Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB come up, you hardly say much about it? And why do politicians keep buying corn and fish, even enter in keke na pepe, with heavy security during election time?
Oh, my friend, you see, let me explain to you. In the matter of Nnamdi Kanu, it is hard to separate propaganda. No, listen to me. It's hard to separate propaganda from improper panda. That is the problem I have there. It's very difficult.
Hey.
But there was something else that happened. The federal government paid the Biafrans, survivors. They paid them 88 billion. They agreed to pay it. Did you read the news?
Oh, yeah.
It was wonderful. And I used to think that Nnamdi Kanu was crazy until the federal government announced that people who will benefit are from Akwa Ibom State, from Benue State, from Edo State.
Hey!
I'm like, are they all Biafrans? I didn't know they were all Biafrans. I was surprised. I'm just saying. Even the federal government is agreeing with Nnamdi. I'm confused. Anyway. But about politicians, I tell you, this is very easy. If they fool you once, shame on you. If they fool you twice, shame on you. Because you know them. You should know them by now. If they start carrying your baby and start smiling, they're like, be afraid. Don't let them fool you.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
Is there a message that you're trying to tell Nigerians?
Because they're very apart from eating corn, they will soon start carrying your baby. And like this one.
Doctor, what?
No, I'm not pointing at you. I thought the camera is. Where is the camera?
Oh, okay.
Next.
No baby in here. Our final email. Second and final.
What happened? I was
Second
just
and
warming
We
up.
have to go. The place
I'm just
is cold.
warming up.
We must go home.
I thought the man is around. Anyway, Okay. Go.
Doctor.
Go.
Our final email is from Martin Ojo from New York
Martin,
City.
oh, he's over there. Your neighborhood. You
I know him.
Yeah, you see your neighbor. You know? I know
I'm
where he
sure,
lives.
like
Yeah.
as if you know where I live, but it's okay. He right.
Yeah.
Doctor,
Yes.
I watched your episode 302 and I could see where those behind the scenes make quick response to their noise. Unlike before. I guess it's because their boss is around keeping it real.
He
They want
said
to
it.
prove to her
said
that they are very active at work.
Hey.
Unlike the other day, that we only hear one noisemaker.
Like today, we have only
They should
one
keep
noise
it up.
maker. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. The guy figured it out. You know. No, let me tell you. They were seeing her for in our midst for the very last time. That's what happened. You know.
Are you sure?
How did they do today? How did the noisemakers do today? It's only one man. He's going insane. He's going insane over here. Anyway, thank you so much. You know, they were just sending her off. That's what happened.
Yes.
That was why they were excited.
Are you sure?
And we bought some things for them behind the scene. You know, that's all the time we have for emails. Please keep sending your emails to Dr. Damages at
gmail.com.
and follow us on Twitter at
Dr. Damages.
and on Instagram at
Dr. Damages.
Now, here is my concern for today. It's taken from page 419 of the book. Donald Trump is going down.
Going down.
By Donald Trump.
Hey.
And it says, if you are going to be thinking, you may as well think big.
Hey.
Sometimes if the man is
Go
not
hard or go home. I say it all the time.
Until
Go
next
hard
week, I'm
or
Dr. Damages.
go
I
home.
diagnose.
You heal yourself.
The man, he smokes something. So, tomato
What
juice.
did you give him?
Tomato juice. So there is this thing that happened in New York. We didn't have time to talk about it so much.
Exactly.
People are mad.
Ah.
You know? What do you feel? How do you feel about the situation?
I can't ride no bikes anymore.
You know, and people who ride bikes in New York City are the best people in this world.
How so?
They don't want to pollute the environment.
Oh, okay,
They are very
okay,
good people.
okay,
They
okay.
can't kill ants. You know, they are nice people, and they became the victims of this stupid man.
Hey, doctor.
Yeah?
Hey.
No, I'm not afraid.
Hey!
No, I'm not scared of them. Listen, I know you
First
have.
of all, my name
I know
alone.
you have the wrong name. I know you had the wrong name. Yeah, these are issues that we are pissed off in this city. You know.
What about the guy that wants to take over?
Forget about that. The man, he should go and take over keeping it real.